A Most Violent Year is written and directed by J.C. Chandor and stars Oscar Isaac, Jessica Chastain, and David Oyelowo, and takes place in New York City in 1981 when an ambitious immigrant fights to save his company with his wife during the most violent year in New York City. Isn't New York City just violent overall every single year? Now this is the one film that I needed to see before I created my top 10 list of 2014. I was really looking forward to this film. The trailers make it look like it's that Godfather vibe. And Oscar Isaac, if they ever remade The Godfather, but please don't ever get this idea in your head that you actually need to remake The Godfather. But if they ever did, I think Oscar Isaac could play a young Al Pacino. Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain in this film are like Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're a powerhouse couple and they know how to rule everything. Oscar Isaac runs this company that sells gasoline, and his company name is Standard. Do you remember what his name was in Drive? And Jessica Chastain is his wife, and together they know how to run things really well. Jessica Chastain comes off at times like she can just take over this business like it was nothing. Her family background is pretty notorious, and at times Oscar Isaac has to calm her down. And she is so great in this role. I'm disappointed that this was released the last day of the year. If it was released a few weeks earlier, I think this would get recognized a little bit more. But she gives such a great performance, that really deep mob feel to her. I feel like she can just run the company by herself. She doesn't need anybody with her. There's such great character development for Oscar Isaac. He's the man in the beginning where he doesn't believe in violence to run his business. He believes in keeping things clean even though there's some charges against him. But he doesn't own any guns. He wants to have a clean business, and she's a little bit different with some things going on. But he's realizing that if he wants to protect his business and grow, he's got to do some violent things. And there's such a great character development through this film for him. He has these principles and morals and values that you've got to actually look at when you want to run a company and protect it. So he's going back on certain things, and I really like the character development for Oscar Isaac. This film has a misleading title, A Most Violent Year. Yes, it was one of the most violent years in New York history, but the movie is not a violent film at all. It's more of a business film. I thought it was going to be like The Godfather, a little bit disappointed in there where it's going to be like mobs and violence just straight up. It's dealing more with handling a business and protecting it from other people. There are a few violent scenes, few action scenes, and with the few action scenes, they are handled really well. It has a great look to it, long takes. The score, it makes it very intense. The score is one of the best scores of the year for this. Every single score fit the scenes perfectly. The script written by J.C. Chandor provides very intelligent, smart dialogue between these characters and fits it into Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac. It makes them such believable characters, and she will do anything to protect her business, and you fear her. And Oscar Isaac, you actually believe that he is the real businessman and wants to keep everything clean and needs to contain Jessica Chastain at times. It's very smart, and some scenes go on for a while, and you know, sometimes when dialogue scenes go on for a while they get boring, but here they're very smart, you're in the moment, and add a lot of depth to the characters. The cinematography for this film is dark, it's very fitting to the New York background and the grittiness of the years that this film was taking place in. Overall, I thought A Most Violent Year was a pretty good film. I was a little bit disappointed with the overall violence towards it. I was just going into this film thinking that it's gonna be like Godfather, kind of got that dry feel to it too. I thought it was just gonna be a violent film like the title tells us, but I still really enjoyed the movie, the characters especially, the dialogue, the setting, the score, overall everything was pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and give A Most Violent Year a B+. This is Just Watching Movies with this review for A Most Violent Year, and I'll see y'all later.